everyone, I'm here. It's Tarot Tuesday and I'm going to show you the decks I'm using for the month of March, tarot and oracle decks. So I always use a tarot deck for the month, and I use it in my Instagram posts. I also use it in, if you order a reading from me, this is probably the deck you get, unless I'm intuitive. Like sometimes my intuition says, no, this person needs this deck for this reading. So, or if this person asks specifically for a deck, I'll go with that. But generally speaking, I like to keep it to the deck of the month. It also helps me like work with these decks. I have so many decks. I like to just focus that month on particular decks, so I work with them. I don't just collect decks just to have them sit on the shelf. I like to work with them, enjoy them, and get to know them and their energies. So for the month of March, I am working with the Steampunk Tarot. So I kind of had this before as a fall deck, but this year I'm going to be using it in March. March I always think of as kind of a masculine type month. I feel like February has very feminine energy and March has very masculine energy, and so I wanted to go with kind of a masculine type deck. And I find this is a really positively masculine deck. So no toxic masculinity here. This is just a very positive one. I like all the browns and stuff. Where I live, spring is very brown. It is not spring yet here. It's still winter, but we're getting little inklings of spring, like little warm days and stuff. And so the snow melts, and then you have little piles of like sand and dirt from them putting sand on the roads, and so we don't slip everywhere on the roads. And then the snow kind of melts, and the garbage that the snow covered shows up that people have littered, and the dog poop and all that kind of stuff. And it's a very, March and April are not the pretty, beautiful spring we see on TV. March and April are ugly. They're brown and gray and ugly. And so I picked a very brown deck, but a pretty brown deck to go with this time of year. So I really like this deck because I like steampunk things. Also, like I said, it's very masculine, but again, in a very positive way. And this deck also has it does have a lot of women in it. I love all the cogs and hats and the Victorian dress. But it's a very lovely deck, I find. And I find it's a very much a straight shooter. This particular deck is quite lovely. And it's just like, it's a fun deck. It's a fun deck. Why not use it for spring? Even though I usually use it for fall. Yeah. So see, even the women here, it's got kind of this sort of masculine edge to it, this very industrial sort of vibe to it with all the cogs and the brass and everything like that. So yeah, that's the Steampunk Tarot. Really love that. I'm coupling it because I always do my readings with Lenormand as well, with the classic Lenormand, because I'm keeping that vintage sort of, Victorian type vibe. So this is your classic 36 card Lenormand that you're going to see referenced in most references to Lenormand. Can I say references more than once? I think it goes very nicely with the Steampunk Tarot, that's for sure. The light blues too also make me think of spring. Spring will come eventually, in a month or two. So yeah, so that's the Lenormand deck that I'm using. And then the Oracle deck that I'm going to be coupling it with, while the Steampunk Tarot is very masculine, I am using the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, one of my favorites, which is a very feminine type deck. I feel it kind of, it balances out some of the masculinity of the steampunk, but it's still got that nice Victorian type vibe to it. I just think this is a lovely, lovely deck. Soft, it's feminine, it's beautiful. It's a collage deck because she got this stuff from old like vintage postcards from the Victorian and Edwardian eras, although I think a little bit dips into the 20s, but that's okay too. It's very like Edwardian early movie star type of vibe there. Celebration. It's a really beautiful feminine deck. All the flowers make me hopeful for spring. It's very nice. Oh, this gives such Athena vibes there. There's another really lovely one. Oh, I love this too. Very nice. So yes, love these decks. So I'm going to be using these in readings and in the Instagram posts. I don't post these, but I do use affirmation decks just for myself for spring, March, April, May, sort of spring here. Well, I guess May is really spring here. March, April, May, whatever. Anyway, for March, April, May, I'm using the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay. I don't agree with all of her stuff, but some of these can be quite helpful. I'll pull a card for the week as an affirmation. I open the doors to life. I'm at peace with my age, and as we get older, you need that mantra more and more. I can release the past and forgive everyone. I don't know if I can do that or everyone can do that, but it is a lovely thought. I trust my inner wisdom. I really like that. I like some of the artwork on these. Some of them I could take a pass on the artwork, but some of them are quite lovely. All is well in my world. That's a good one when you're feeling anxious. I accept my uniqueness. I think we could all use that. Everything I touch is a success. I let go of all expectations. My income is constantly increasing. That's the affirmation I need. That's the affirmation we all need. I don't know if I want to constantly increase. I think it would get to a point where I'd be like, that's good enough. I release all criticism. That's a good one too. I trust the process of life. I am working on that. So yeah, those are the ones that I'm using for the springtime months. Yes, so those are the decks that I'm using. I like to kind of keep it simple. What I'm going to be doing is I am going to do a series where I'm going to go through my tarot cards because I have so many and I don't use all of them, and I really don't believe in tarot cards just sitting on the shelf and not doing anything. So I think if you don't mind looking at my messy shelves, I'm going to go through and do a series where I go through and I pick out the ones I want to keep and put the others in a pile, and I'll probably sell some, do some in trades, give away some, but there's just like a lot, and same with my books and stuff, and I just kind of want to pare it down to what do I actually love, what do I actually use, what do I actually want, and then other people, the other things can move on to other people to enjoy them. I don't like, clutter and all that kind of stuff, so I think I'm going to be doing that. So let me know what decks you are working with, what you're working with this month. Do you like any of these decks or any on your wish list? What decks are on your wish list? I'm not ordering a whole bunch of decks this year. I have a few that I've pre-ordered, but there's not a ton of them. I just feel like I have so many, I have to pare back a little bit right now. So let me know what your thoughts are, and I hope you're having a wonderful week, and stay wild, my friends.